The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Course and Clubhouse tomorrow night. Tickets available right now in the link in the description. St. Catharines, we're ready for you.
I'm going to smell so good.
You're going to smell good?
Yeah, come see how I smell.
Triple
come to
Bogey.
the Course and Clubhouse.
Triple Bogey is going to be there, providing the beer and the seltzers. And also, we're doing the longest drive competition on those big HD simulators. They got 5 of them.
I'm winning.
And Jesse just smacks the shit out of that golf ball.
I getting real ready to throw my back out.
Yeah. No, that's
Is
Steve.
that a risk? Yeah, no, that's me.
I don't know. When you hit your 30s, it's just always a risk.
There's a twist.
This is what I hear from Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Steve's like, I just had a doctor's appointment and I'll never be the same.
So, okay. You want me to talk about
Yeah,
it?
talk about it.
So, my wrist has been bothering me since the Stanley Cup final.
Since you were 14.
No.
Yeah.
My back has been shitty that long.
Crept in.
Well, it's probably a little carpal tunnel
Yeah.
on account of, constantly on my phone and everything. Yeah. But I noticed, I jammed it during a beer league game. Can we talk extensively about my beer league? I know you love that.
Yeah,
Jess.
please post your
yeah.
stats, please.
Yeah.
Point of game, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Through 2 games. Just saying. A couple assists. One of them was kind of shitty. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I jammed it off a face-off and I went, oh, fuck. Okay. Well, that hurt. Whatever. And I just thought it would get better.
Did you jam it like on the guy? Like what do you mean? You
I was focused on what I was doing, so I don't know. I think I bent it in this way, which fucking hurts to do.
like going up against the other guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what I did, and I thought it would get better, and it never did. And I was having to explain how you hurt it to the doctor. They're like, oh, so like has this happened before? Like were there unique circumstances that led up to this? Yeah, the unique circumstance was the day before this hockey game. I was doing a stream, and people donated subscriptions or memberships to the channel for every push-up I did. And I ended up over the course of the stream doing 143.
And now your wrist doesn't
And it was
work?
weak, and now I literally cannot do a flat palm push-up for all my work.
And the doctor told you today it may never work properly?
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I mean, you're young, so, you got that in your favor, but it may never, like, even with this, you'll be
there you go.
100% ever again.
There you go.
And I'm like, she's like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a podcaster.
Man, you won't believe how much we hate women on this podcast.
Man, let me tell you.
You're a podcaster.
So I says to the lady doctor, I says, yeah, no, it was, I felt.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at home?
Yeah, oh my.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Thanks for your opinion, dame. Can I get your husband on the phone? No,
It's absolutely hilarious that you're at the stage where
So
you're
you're cooked. You're done.
I still play, Jesse. I still give my all, give my heart to my team, and just lay it on the line. Like that song. Someone should make a song about that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That would be a really good song to hear over and over again.
Yeah. It's just once or twice a game. I'm like, fuck. And then I just keep going.
I like it. Yeah. Jesse,
I was trying to pull up when you did all the push-ups, but I can't do it fast.
I don't remember which game it was, but
I'm
it was
pretty sure it was the around Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. I'd have to search for it. I have to be prepared for this topic, but I wasn't.
I just remember I did it again the next stream, but at some point during that stream, I was like, guys, I have to do these like on my knuckles. I can't do a push-up right now. It hurts.
You know what you shouldn't do?
And I still can't. It's
Push-ups
September.
With like no preparation. What was the last time you did push-ups before that?
I once a week. At
Okay,
least.
but like how many are you doing? Like
Not
a dozen?
143.
yeah, shocking.
20?
Shocking.
You shouldn't 10x the amount of push-ups you're doing.
No.
It was just not clever. No, it wasn't clever.
Hey, Jesse, can you bring up the picture I just sent you? Because I think we need to talk about this. And it's not about you, Steve. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God.
Don't worry. It's not. It's
Most
not
things are. So I was
no
confused.
bad pictures of you. We have many.
Yeah, there's
but
lots.
it is not one of those. This is a bad picture of a very good hockey player. We'll get there in a second. And I looked at these jerseys before. I don't even know if we've done a lot of teams are changing their jerseys. Sometimes we miss them. Sometimes it doesn't make the show because there's other shit going on, and it's like, hey, what do you like this jersey or not? It's not the deepest segment we do, right?
Got it.
But this one, I think it's always good to wait till you see them on the ice. Like 100%. A lot of people hated those new Oilers jerseys. A lot of people hate the new Rangers jerseys. I'm like, well, let's just see them on the ice because I have made that mistake in the past. And I've been like, oh, no, I like that on the ice. Yeah. Like the Ducks Orange County jersey, everybody's like, wait till you see it on the ice. And I'm like, you know what? I will. And I saw them not just on the ice. I saw them in person. And they're terrible.
I don't like those jerseys.
They're the ugliest jerseys in the league.
My least favorite jerseys in all of the NHL.
Thank you, Jesse. And Jesse actually has an eye for this stuff, so you have to trust him more than you trust me. Now, tell me what you think of the away jersey for the Carolina Hurricanes. That's Nick Ehlers. Mm-hmm. I was so on this jersey. Remember we did sort of show it. This looks like shit.
Well, because they're video.
This is a terrible. Look at how
really
that jersey is fucking terrible.
Really?
I'm sorry. Yeah, and I listen. All respect to Canes fans who are super kind and super passionate, always come into this show with, an open mind or whatever. That is a bad look. They designed
the jerseys. Why are you apologizing?
That's a bad look, dude.
Jesse, do you
that
agree?
Looks like shit. You can't wear those. You got to throw those away.
I think they're okay.
No, those are bad.
No, I don't think they're hot garbage. They're just fine.
Yeah, they tried something, which
and it failed.
No, I don't think so.
The thing about mistakes is you should make them quickly and move on. It's a bad jersey, man.
What do you think of the red logo?
I think the red logo's cool.
I like the red logo.
Is the striping on the shoulders, I think. I don't like it. And I remember we did do a segment on this with the marching band and everything.
Yeah.
We asked if that was AI.
Yeah, and then we got the answer.
No. And people were like, you guys are fucking stupid. But I was looking at this. I'm like, man, there's something very chaotic about the way this looks. And what I love about
this
the Carolina,
is chaotic.
There's chaos to this. There's too much going on.
Adam,
my ADHD's going nuts looking at this jersey. It makes me uncomfortable.
So this is
it just a bad picture?
No, it's a bad jersey.
Why is it a bad picture?
There's nothing wrong with the picture.
No, in Adam's eyes, if we saw them all skating around on it, maybe it's fine.
I think it looks like it belongs in the E. I don't think it's NHL caliber. I really don't.
To me, it looks European.
Yeah,
that's what I like about it.
I kind of dig it, man.
Man, well, if it would have to have a Skoda thing somewhere because they put Skoda on everything.
Well, maybe I'll change providers to Skoda.
This looks like it could be in the DEL, know? And I feel like that lends to it. That makes it kind of special.
It looks so much.
It looks different than the other jerseys in the league.
And I respect that.
I don't think that's inherently a bad thing.
And black is a part of their color scheme, so I always give teams that have black as a part of their color scheme a pass.
Right.
When they do that. If you are adding black in, screw you. But I think
it's a bit of a crutch.
The Canes have always had that, so I give it to them. I love the Carolina logo in the middle, like the Hurricane logo. I think that's cool.
That's really, honestly, that should be their full time. It's real good.
I agree with you, but I think the shoulders and not the forearms, the bicep area does not work. Doesn't work.
The gun show.
Yeah, the gun show doesn't work. This jersey's not long for this league.
Maybe this isn't even a criticism. It's just a wonder, and we're not going to know until they get on the ice. Does their road jersey have too much color? Like if they play a red team, that's going to be potentially a bit of a thing. But other than that, man, I think it's pretty tight. I like it. I'm usually very harsh on these jerseys.
It's junk, dude.
It's fine.
It's junk. All right, listen. You know what we want to do?
What?
I want you to, and I will do the same. I would like, because I will be upfront and honest. I have not watched any Carolina Hurricanes preseason action. I made the mistake of watching the Oilers Kraken last night. Holy shit, that game was terrible.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see who McDavid was playing with. That is the only reason I watched that game. And boy, wait till I read you the stat line.
Oh, yeah?
It's crazy. But it doesn't tell you anything, as we know. But I look at that. I'm like, okay, I will wait and watch it on TV and see it one more time. But I think the jersey sucks. But I'm keeping an open mind. Again.
I'm surprised.
Now, I want to talk about something that happened yesterday. And I think this is interesting. And it's not... with this show, we always want to have as much fun as we possibly can. But this is not the most fun story, so I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. CJ mentioned on the CJ show today, it has not come out yet, but we know that he has mentioned it.
No, it's out.
Oh, it's out now? Okay.
Yeah, you're listening to this in the afternoon.
Yes, well, that's what I mean. As of this recording, it has not come out.
No, it's out too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
well, I haven't
surely.
It is out in real life.
I'm going to retweet it.
It is looking like Carter Hart is going to sign in Vegas, okay? Mm-hmm. Mark Lazarus went to Carolina and went to Vegas to talk to the organizations about what it would be like if Carter Hart and Michael McLeod signed there. And it's looking like that. It was looking like Carolina, as of yesterday, Frank Seravalli was saying Carter Hart and Michael McLeod had made progress on the Carolina front. So it's interesting now to hear that CJ saying, actually, it might be Carter Hart to Vegas. So Mark Lazarus of The Athletic talked to Rod Brind'Amour, and Brind'Amour said, well, obviously that's news to me. Rumors are rumors. Every time there's a player out there, they always say that our team's involved. I haven't given it much thought, but any player that comes in here would be welcomed with open arms. That's the only reason we're bringing someone into this family. You got to treat them like that. You're talking about a hypothetical, but that's how I would approach it. So, good answer, right?
Yeah.
On the Vegas side, I'm going to read directly from the Athletic article here. Mark says, on the other side of the country, the Golden Knights took a different tack. The team declined to allow head coach Bruce Cassidy to speak to The Athletic one-on-one after learning of the topic. Several minutes later, before Cassidy began a news conference, the spokesperson pulled an Athletic reporter out of the room and told him to leave the team's practice facility immediately. The Athletic's press pass for that evening's preseason game was revoked, so they couldn't even go to the game. The spokesperson said The Athletic had, quote, ambushed Noah Hanifin during the routine locker room media interviews that morning, and that the team was not, quote, comfortable allowing the reporter to cover the game. Now,
maybe that's why there's no reporters there after game 32. They've all been banned.
Hanifin, for his part, showed no irritation at the questions. And if you go in, and I'm not going to quote Hanifin's answer because it's a hockey answer. It's not that exciting. Sure. The point is, and this is, there's not much in terms of a meaty story. Sometimes I look at things and I'm like, well, that's a 5 or 6 minute topic. And I think that's what this is. But I do find that extremely interesting that, if Vegas is serious about hiring these people, that's what it is, or hiring Carter Hart, they are going to have to face questions like this. And wherever you stand on this topic, it is a question reporters need to ask. And so I find it very interesting that they would boot a reporter. And I asked some people, and everybody that I know that works in this profession has never seen this happen ever. Never seen it sometimes in cases as much as 25 years. Never seen it.
The one incident I can think of credentials getting revoked, like, it needs to be serious. And listen, if someone asking about a player is enough for you to revoke their credentials and kick them out of the building, maybe you shouldn't sign that player.
Because you got to be ready to handle those questions. You look at the Ducks with Quenneville. Well, they've had to answer those questions.
Let me use the words of many who are confused by this. Hey, they were acquitted. What's the problem? Ask away. If there's no problem, what's the problem? Evidently, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, there was another quote, because Noah Hanifin wasn't the only player. Dude, I'm so happy I left when all the shit went down, Howden's June 26, 2018 text message said. Haha, man, when I was leaving, Duber was smacking this girl's ass so hard. Like, it looked like it hurt so bad. Oh, sorry. That was actually Vegas Golden Knights player Brett Howden in a text that for some reason they deemed inadmissible at the trial. Reunited and it feels so good. Come on, you're getting the team back together. They were acquitted. What's the big deal? Let everyone ask questions, right?
Well,
I don't understand.
That is the thing. If you're going to do this, you have to be prepared to answer questions.
Well, and it's a genuinely stupid thing that they did because I don't think we'd be talking about it today.
Jess?
Yeah, though, I think when you remove a reporter, you're acknowledging that the questions are sensitive, right? They are acknowledging that there is an issue there, and they're admitting, hey, there's going to be media around this signing. So them being unprepared for that when the rumors are out there, and clearly CJ has sources that because things are happening and behind the scenes. So I guess it's not surprising, knowing how Vegas is operated, that they are unprepared for something like this.
Well, so here's the question. The famous Tyson Berry quote on Chicklets where he's like, game 32, no one's going to be in the locker room waiting for you to ask the questions.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing where I know the PR staff is pretty good in Vegas, they're going to have to be prepared for. And maybe they're just not prepared this early in the season. That's what I was thinking. Like, is it, other than local coverage, they probably are not getting, hockey doesn't get a ton of national coverage in the States, right? It just generally doesn't happen. The Athletic is not a gotcha outlet. They are pretty good journalists.
Well, and they're not some little podunk outlet either.
No, but
you want to kick SDPN out.
There's outlets that are there, and they have a purpose, and they serve to get. Give me one quote. Give me that crazy quote. You see it a lot in politics. You see it sometimes in sports. And I'm looking at this, and I'm going, I don't know. You can ask. That's not a hard question to ask. It's pretty relevant.
Well, and Noah Hannafin in the article had no obvious qualms with the question.
No.
Now, maybe afterward he went to one of the PR staff and he said, "Hey, get this guy out of here," or whatever.
But based on what, right? What's it based on?
Or I didn't like that question. Or here's the thing, I didn't like that question, and here's how it's supposed to work. If a reporter asks a question and the player doesn't like it, the player then goes to the PR staff, unless the PR staff witnessed it themselves, which is often the case. But the player says, "Hey, that made me uncomfortable," or "I didn't like that," or "that guy's an asshole." Mm-hmm. Then the PR staff has a conversation with you and or your superior.
Yep.
And that's how you handle it. Revoking the credential immediately is insane. Like, Jesse, do I have that mostly right?
Yeah.
You're the guy who's at the games all the time, so
I
feel like I'm like, isn't that right, Jesse?
No, by doing this, like, they acknowledged that there was a problem. If they had just handled this like I think any other organization would, where the player gives an answer like Hannafin did, and then the reporter goes to the game afterwards, maybe they ask another player a question. Mm-hmm. This isn't a story.
Yeah.
Like, Lazarus would have written his article that would have had a couple quotes in there from a couple of Vegas players, and we would have all read it, and we would have talked about it maybe in the context of Carter Hart going there, but it wouldn't been a story of them trying to shut down journalism. Mm-hmm. And they've created this media storm themselves. So, Adam, when you're like in game 32, I know the PR staff's good. I don't know their PR staff. I don't know that they are.
I think they do a good job of projecting good. You know what I mean?
I don't know that. Like, what I've seen now from the one moment where there's heightened pressure on Vegas is them panicking in a way where they've made this a bigger deal through their own actions.
They made it a story.
They've made a story, and I feel like that's the opposite of what you should be doing if you're the PR staff. If you're trying to protect your players here, you shouldn't be causing more of a media storm.
Is
and
no
having
one,
a Toronto podcast talk about this.
Is no one picking up on the theme of trying to silence people and drawing more attention to the things that they say?
That's exactly
No one? All right, let's do it again. Let's keep doing it.
I don't know if that market right now is equipped to handle media, like the media scrutiny you would have in a place like this.
Yeah.
And it's
maybe not. Maybe not.
I feel like we all need to be honest and acknowledge that it is different if you were to have the players sign in Toronto versus Vegas. They think they are on this quiet little...
Tyson Barrie said it out loud.
Yeah, and the players know it, and we've heard it from a million of the Florida players, but like when you go to these markets, they think like, okay, we can go there and hide, but when you're bringing in these players from the Hockey Canada trial, it's gonna cause more media to be there. And you're clearly not equipped to handle that right now. And you need to get up to the bar to handle these players coming in.
Mm-hmm. Like, you guys are a championship caliber franchise. This is embarrassing.
Yeah. You just landed a huge superstar this summer too.
Yeah.
People are going to be paying attention to you.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing stuff. So as I understand it, they asked Noah Hannafin a question and requested Bruce Cassidy, and the team declined. Which is their prerogative.
That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. Then you're like doing your regular PR thing of shielding in an appropriate way. Like, you can't earn one-on-one interviews with head coaches just in the preseason. Like, no. I don't think Mark Lazarus should expect, or whoever the reporter was that they sent for his report, to go down there and get a one-on-one with the head coach in the middle of preseason, in the middle of training camp.
Yep.
That shouldn't be an expectation. But you shouldn't then also kick out the journalist.
Remove them from the building.
Can't go to the game.
Yeah, they can't go to the game?
Yeah.
Can't watch the game, ask about the game. Okay, and this is normally, so this is what you do. Like, if you're uncomfortable with it, PR staff, you go to that reporter and you go, hey, listen, like, our guys are not gonna answer any questions on players that are not here, that have not signed here.
Honestly,
and that's all you have to do.
That's not unreasonable at all.
Yeah.
Like, Carter Hart is not a member of the Vegas Golden Knights at the time we're recording this.
Yeah.
And
it will be in about 7 days.
Yeah. Well, it's not unreasonable in the slightest to be like, we don't make it a habit of talking about players who are not currently members of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
And a good PR member wouldn't even they wouldn't go to the journalists and say that and say they're not going to answer questions on that. They would prep the players.
Yeah.
They would prep the players on the answer that it's like, hey, I don't want to talk about a player who's not signed. Then they all just kind of have that line and they can say that and everybody moves on.
Well, I've heard of things where like a reporter will ask the team for comment and the team goes, welp, cat's out of the bag, and then the team gets ahead of it and releases a statement.
Yeah.
And this isn't even for something even kind of like this, but someone was asked, you knew that they were asked. I don't think it would have taken hours and hours to craft a reasonable. I think we just did it. Hey, he's not on the Golden Knights. Our players don't talk about players who aren't on the Golden Knights. How would these players be received? How would any player be received?
Yeah.
Like, how would you could? I think it's a legitimate question, but if you don't want to be asked the question, I think there's easy ways to get around that. And they couldn't even bring themselves to do that. They just went straight to heavy-handed authoritarianism, which is insane and a poor precedent for the beginning of the season.
I wonder what the Professional Writers Association will say, because I remember during COVID, I think Frank's the head of it. They got pissed with the teams because after COVID, they're like, well, we're not going to allow you in the dressing room because we don't want anyone getting sick. And the Writers Association took that as basically like, oh, you're just never going to let us back in, which, they figured out. I would love to know what they're going to do about this, because this is something where you do, as an organization, probably need to kind of step in and go, this is, what are we doing here? And they probably are having that conversation.
Yeah, somebody there needs to ask some questions on like what went down here, and I wonder if there's going to be some sort of follow-up story from either Lazarus or somebody at the New York Times, just to fill us in on what the Vegas Golden Knights are thinking doing.
Well, I here's what I think happens here, guys, and you tell me if I'm crazy. I think what happens is that first off, this looks like Carter Hart's going to sign there as of this morning. Things can always change, but that's what it looks like. They are probably having a meeting this morning going, okay, what's the messaging here? And they're going to have to offer up some sort of answer for The Athletic. They're going to have to they're going to have to answer these questions eventually.
How weren't they ready for this?
Well, maybe
this has been a rumor for weeks.
That can, what? Here's what I will give the PR staff, because it's possible that the front office is just not communicating with them, which PR staffs have to deal with all the time. It's because they don't want it getting out. And so what happens is, these are very sensitive negotiations. It's a very sensitive issue. So maybe the general manager aired and left the PR staff to scramble. And should the PR staff in a perfect world be prepared? Yes, but mistakes happen.
Yeah.
The removing, when mistakes happen, removing a reporter is an overreaction to it, and therefore makes it a story. And that is why you must communicate within an organization.
And I wonder, I don't know, but I wonder if that decision comes from above them.
I think it was just probably
I don't know.
Yeah, from what I understand, the general managing staff there has a way that they do things, and you're not going to tell them otherwise. Yeah. And they won a cup, so it's hard to tell them otherwise. So I think that's probably what's happening here. We've never done this before. Why would we start now? Well, it's a different story now.
By the way, whenever anyone mentions Toronto media or Canadian media, if you just replace it with people who talk about hockey, you start to sound like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, man, this only happens with people who talk about hockey.
The Chicago media. Mark is from Chicago.
Yeah, it was Mark Lazarus. He covers the Blackhawks.
And Mark's a really intimidating guy. Another one.
Oh, fuck, he's terrifying. I went to the doctor for my other hand because he cracked it when I shook it into a fine powder. By the way, it's all titanium.
We got a message from James Myrtle who said he had to look up Slender Man. So he's like, I didn't know what Slender Man was.
I got back to him.
Sorry, like
James.
This is the Streisand effect in PR.
Yes.
It's when you try and censor information, it actually makes it a bigger deal, and that's what is going on here in Vegas. And I feel like that should be PR 101, and these people should be able to handle this. But like the moving forward, I'm curious about how the fans are going to react to this in Vegas, and if it's going to be as big of a deal as it's becoming in Carolina, as the story's kind of unfolding with the Hurricanes potentially signing one of the players, because they've made a petition and to cancel season tickets.
How many people have signed that? Do we know? Front Office Sports had
13 or 1,400, and that was in the Lazarus article.
Yeah, so like there's clearly a noise coming from the fan base in Carolina. I wonder if we're going to see a similar thing with the fans in Vegas. And I'm just curious on what the fans' reaction is, because that's what it comes down to, right? The people who care about this team. If there's actually a revenue drop in season tickets, like there are threats in Carolina.
A major thing in Carolina.
We'll see.
A lot of people. You know what? I am curious about that too, Jesse. Every state, every region has its own, ways on things. I thought it was interesting that any NHL story would make front office sports, because rarely does front office sports, which talks about sports business, cover the NHL, because the business dealings are just so much smaller.
Anytime you send the FOS, I'm like, I doubt this is a good story.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see next week how Vegas handles this if Carter Hart in fact signs there, because they're going to have to. So we'll see what happens. Breaking right now, I want to mention, guys, the Dallas Stars have put out a statement about Jamie Benn. Jim Nill.
Uh-oh.
Dallas Stars general manager Jim Nill announced today that Captain Jamie Benn will undergo surgery for a collapsed lung. He was diagnosed with the injury late in the third period of Tuesday's preseason game against Minnesota. He's expected to make a full recovery and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So that must have been, hockey, man. It's not the first collapsed lung we've seen. So it's
I can't.
Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah, Bergeron is the only one I can think of.
I think there have been others. I can't think of any offhand, but there have been others. So
wow,
curious about. I mean, it's for Dallas that sucks, but I don't even know what. I don't actually know what you have to go through to fix a collapsed lung.
Zero idea.
How do you rehab a collapsed lung?
Revisiting in 4 weeks is tough, because that means we're going to just see where you are in 4 weeks.
Yeah, and it's for him. He had a really good year last year, and his contract is really bonus laden, and I think a lot of it's tied to games played.
Oh shit!
He's 37, right? So he's got one of those bonus deals. So this kind of just seems like just bad luck.
That's real bad.
Yeah, bummer.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't think it was even like a major feature of the game. Like in terms of the game he was playing.
Like something maybe happened before the game and then was exacerbated?
No, it was in the third period against Minnesota. They say in the statement.
Right.
But it wasn't like he was carted. I don't think he was carted off the ice. Like I don't remember seeing anything on that. And if he was, it's preseason, right? Nobody's paying attention.
Jesus.
So
and the collapsed lung is when air gets in between your lungs and your chest. So because your lungs, there's like a space in between them.
Yes.
So like if air is getting in there, then it's causing pressure on your lungs, and then you need surgery to fix it in most cases.
That sounds extremely painful.
Yeah.
And not great.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It seems like fun.
It's something that he should be able to make a full recovery from, which is good.
Good.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it's going to be career threatening or anything like that. No. But at that age, you're always concerned about like injuries that'll keep you out months.
Yeah. I mean, you might have a wrist that never works properly at
like
37.
Steve Dangle.
Right?
Yeah.
So
from doing too many push-ups, Jamie Benn's in hospital for a friggin' collapsed lung. You're like, my wrist might never work.
He might have just got.
So what were you doing?
Same age.
So I was doing
Jesse.
I was doing a stream and they dared me to do a bunch of push-ups.
What a fucking idiot.
He might have just got
stupid. I had to explain that to a medical professional.
Yeah.
He might have just got hit real hard in the chest and something like that.
Yeah.
Happen,
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay, so even Mark Spector called last night's Oilers Kraken game a snooze fest. It was boring, but I just thought it would be funny to see. I want to watch the game And, thankfully I could in 720, crisp 720p on the Sportsnet app. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Trent Frederick. How did they do? And I will tell you this, Connor McDavid looked like Connor McDavid, and you would expect it to be easier for him to look like Connor McDavid in a preseason game.
Yes.
He's still got the speed. He's still amazing, whatever. After 60 minutes, the McDavid line had a combined 4 shots on goal, 0 points, and a -9 overall.
What?
I mean,
what was the score of the game?
I don't even know, because the score doesn't matter, but I just...
-9. Well, I mean, combined plus minus isn't a thing. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot, so that's -3.
Yeah. It was 4-1, but most of the goals... The goals happened against the top line.
Oh, that's surprising and concerning.
It's not. Is it concerning?
No.
It's not concerning to me.
What are you talking
That's surprising and
that's concerning.
What if McDavid's done?
What if he's cooked?
What if it's over
Chad,
for
is
him?
he cooked?
Is he chopped? Is Connor McDavid uncut?
You hurt your eyeballs by watching that game, Adam. That is
did.
glorified practice.
I know.
I don't know why you'd tune in for that.
I thought it was better than watching whatever the Jays are fucking doing right now.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I just was like... we talked so much about Connor.
Increasing liquor sales is what the Jays are doing.
We talked so much about Connor this month. I was like, I got to see what they put out there. I want to see what it looks like. I know it's the first preseason game he's played, but like, I wanted to see it.
That's what highlights are for,
it was-
people.
yeah,
Preseason
you know what?
highlights.
Steve or Jesse, it's a highlights league.
Oh, jeez. Podkolzin didn't play?
Didn't play. He
His father passed.
father passed away, which is such a shame. He just signed that extension, found a home in Edmonton, like that really, really worked out for him. And then his father passes like that. So that's really, really tough. Yeah. So anyway, no timeline on his return, but I would imagine it, it's like Max Domi, right? Like
I don't know.
usually with funerals, these guys are crazy enough that it's like, okay, next day, let's get back to the rink.
He's going all the way back to Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. By the way, I can't figure out the player, but as an aside, there is somebody's TikToks who keeps coming up who is a girlfriend of a Canadian guy that signed in Vladivostok. And I keep watching her TikToks. It's like, what's a day like in Vladivostok? And I just thought, oh, that's interesting. You guys, I'm going to send it to you guys. Just check it out.
That's Amur. The Amur Tigers, I think.
Is it? I feel like sometimes...
Or no. I don't know.
I feel like sometimes we have a skewed view of like what daily life might be in Russia, and like I'm like looking at the cafe she's going to, I'm like, that looks suspiciously like cafes in North America. Political stuff aside, now
Admiral, sorry, not Amur. Admiral Vladivostok.
Get ready for this season with BetMGM, official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League. Everything for the action on the ice runs through BetMGM. Hockey fans, you can place live bets. You can do same-game parlays. You can do player props, favorite skaters. Bet on the Stanley Cup winner right now. Uh-huh. You can also bet, and we've been doing this in our season previews, the over-unders. The over-unders are... Yeah. It's tougher than you think. Last year, Steve, you know what? We did you dirty because we made fun of you for taking over on literally every team. And
it was like over 20 out of the 32.
Right. But we never went back and calculated how many you were right about.
I did. I was right on all 32.
No, you were.
I don't know.
It's, you know what? It's a tougher bet than you think, but it's what makes it so much fun. BetMGM has original bets, which are hockey markets you can't find anywhere else. And it's not just about what you do on game day. The BetMGM app has improved its lineup this season to include instant withdrawals, data insights, and brand new rewards hubs. Download the BetMGM app today and enjoy the NHL like never before.
Who's the favorite to win the Stanley Cup?
Currently?
Yeah.
It's got to be Florida, right?
Steve?
Don't say the Leafs.
Colorado.
Florida.
Yeah,
Colorado.
I overthought it.
Colorado second most likely.
Edmonton
tied with the Golden Knights.
Edmonton's 4 then?
4, yeah.
Really?
Panthers, Avs, Knights, Oilers, Hurricanes, Stars, Lightnings, Devils, Leafs.
Wow, Keefe has a better shot at the Cup than the Leafs, according to BetMGM.
Yeah.
Damn.
Better, yeah.
Damn.
BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 19 plus to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this, and this is Leaf related. True Living did some media avails. And he's talked about, they're looking at top 6 auctions, but what does that cost? But we've talked about that. What I want to talk about a little bit more is Morgan Rielly. It's interesting because we have talked about the fact that Brad and Morgan actually sat down at the end of the season. And that's not new. Players and general managers do that every year.
Yep.
But this one seems to be very different. Josh Chloe did an article on it in The Athletic, and basically, both Brad and Morgan said this needs to go better. This was the worst year of your career.
I mean, it had to. There were two options. We can trade you, to which he said, no, you cannot. Or you just simply need to be better. Mm-hmm. The easier one is actually just be better.
Rielly says you're honest with him and he's honest with you, and you can either keep it there or go easy on yourself and just go to the golf course. I told him some things about who I am, who I think I am, and who I want to be and how I want to play. In my mind, if you do that to a person that you trust and like working with, you have to hold yourself accountable. I can't tell Tree all these things and then slack off. I'd be a little foolish. I was disappointed with the way last season went, so I took it upon myself to answer the bell. I've had to come to terms with the fact that I was disappointed in myself and the fact that it's a hard thing to admit sometimes for a grown-up, and there's not a lot of examples in my life where I've really felt that. And he went on to mention that, as we suspected, and this happens to every new parent, having a kid around's harder than you'd think.
It changes your life.
Your whole life. And Rielly says he credits the conversation with Treliving for with waking him up, and he challenged himself to do better. So one of the things that they talk about in this is that Morgan had Instagram, and he deleted it before they went on a vacation, like he and his wife and son. And he's just not having it back. He wants to be intentional all about this season. And you laugh, oh, he deleted Instagram now. But you guys, you know how much scrolling takes up our time, right?
I mean,
and he was at the Leafs.
So it's not about posting; it's about
scrolling.
Consumption.
That's how much time is you spending on it?
Even smarter, honestly.
And he said that was just one thing, but it's. I think part of a bigger picture is he was there basically every day this summer. Right. At the training facility, lost weight, trained very, very hard. So I'm curious. The first question I had was for Jesse. How does he look?
He looked good.
Yeah.
He was down 6 pounds. I think we talked about that. And he was asked about being down 6 pounds, and he didn't want to talk about it. Masters asked him, like, hey, so we saw you were down 6 pounds. And he's like, and then he was like kind of shaking his head. And he's like, oh, am I barking up the wrong tree? So he doesn't want to talk about these things publicly. I assume like the article is very good and what's going on behind the scenes. And I think like more important to him than the weight and the change in diet and the sleep routine is the part where he talks about how he's changed the psychology of how he looks at the game and the mental side of things. Because Clokey writes that he's been playing hockey and training since he was a teenager. Right? Mm-hmm. You know how to do this thing. You know the game of hockey. But what got lost along the way was the mental side of the game. So he's devoted more time to the hockey psychology part of it. And I think that's going to really help Morgan because last year he struggled from an on-ice perspective. And you get lost in yourself when you know how to play hockey, but you can't kind of do it. And it's in there. He just kind of needs to figure out the mental side and how to get it out of himself. So dedicating 3 months to just re-loving the game and relearning it and devoting himself to how the coach now wants him to play, I think is going to be spectacular for his game.
It's got to be such a challenge to have to think so hard about something that used to come naturally. Like I have a lot of time for Morgan Rielly as a guy. I have faith in him to get through this. And like physically, people forget he's kind of a beast. Like he doesn't exactly play the most intimidating game. So you might not think of him that way. But like this is a guy who, do you remember those videos of when he was younger of him clearing 6 foot, like high jump?
No, I don't.
Like flat footed. Like he was a monster.
Yes, do you remember those?
I can honestly say I've never seen that video or even know it exists.
It's true.
But that's why we have you, Steve.
Yeah. That's why you're here.
Yeah. No, I remember those videos of athletes should post more random videos of them just accomplishing freakish things off the ice.
Have you seen the Steven Stamkos deadlift video? Where it's
yes.
700 pounds or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Insane.
One of the things, like, there was a player who was the 20th overall pick, which is a pretty high pick, or he was around 20th. And that's fine, but it helped make him a noteworthy prospect that he could flat-footed jump out of a pool.
That's crazy.
Is Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider could jump out of a pool.
Chris Kreider could jump out of a pool when I'm pretty sure he was like a rookie in the NHL or a sophomore, maybe even still in the U.S. program. And yeah, he's incredible at hockey. He's had this great career. But at the beginning of his career, that was sort of, let me pay a little bit more attention to Chris Kreider. Morgan Rielly can leap like a friggin' cat. There was this highlight from very early in his career. Puck's coming above his head at the blue line, and you know those pictures of a cat and like their spine just elongates like a slinky?
Yeah.
He did that as like he's a pretty beefy boy. Mm-hmm. As a physical specimen, like Morgan Rielly's pretty gronked. So I'm not surprised that the challenge was mental. He's battled injuries throughout his career. It doesn't really sound like that was the case last year.
I think it was a systems issue.
Yeah, and
He had to play a different style.
I know a lot of people are done with him and they want him gone and everything.
I was the guy saying that, but if he plays differently this year, I'll be happy with it.
You weren't alone at all. And I'm on your side in that if he does that again, they're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, he can refuse a trade forever, but if he continues to play like that, the Leafs are not winning.
It was the worst season of Morgan Rielly's career from an on-ice perspective. He was lost out there, and I thought his playoff performance was very poor, especially in the Game 7, where he was a large part of the whole team was the reason they lost. I'm not going to hang it on Rielly, but he was a big part of the team that lost that game and lost that game completely. Yeah, he had a whole bunch of defensive mistakes.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't good solid. He wasn't solid in that game, and I don't think he was solid during the playoff run. But it seems through this that he's acknowledged that, and he's come to the conclusion that he needs to be better at hockey. Like he needs to be a better hockey player, and at 31, rededicating himself to the nuances of the game is great to see.
Yes.
Now let's see it translate to a full season on the NHL ice. So hopefully he can do that.
This is part of why when they first were talking about like ideas for how the Leafs can get better, they're like, they could trade Brandon Carlo. And I was like, no, why? No, you just spent a lot to get him, first of all, a first and bloody Fraser Minton. Mm-hmm. But like this guy, because he's under contract, is Morgan Rielly's D partner for the next few years while McCabe plays with Tanev. Like their whole top four is just...
Well, and Morgan Rielly's numbers instantly got better once Carlo showed up, which is such a credit to Carlo and the type of game he plays.
Because Rielly played most of the season with like Philip Myers. Who I like, but why are they playing together?
Yeah.
In a top four role? What happened there? On purpose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I know there's ways of finagling that and special teams and whatever, but I don't think anyone's in the right position to succeed.
Well,
there.
I think how they saw it was when they signed OEL, it's going to be Rielly, Tanev, McCabe, OEL.
That's what we all thought.
And then Berube was like, what if I just put the two defensive guys together and they could shut anybody down?
Rielly played with Tanev for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it didn't work, whatever it was. So, but it works with Carlo. They've got a strong defensive core, which again is first time I can say that in 25 years. I'm curious about what a training camp and full season of Morgan Rielly and Brendan Carlo looks like, because when Jake McCabe showed up, I loved him instantly, but he had some rocky moments in the Tampa series and in the Florida series in 23.
He didn't have the best start.
The next year, and also they were like Morgan Rielly was playing out of his mind in those series, but then he got injured, and so like Jake McCabe's running the power play, which isn't fair. Yeah. That's on Kyle Dubas. When I look at the way that Jake McCabe played the next year and last year, with full training camps and being a part of the system, and that's two different head coaches. He was instantly like a go-to guy on defense for both coaches.
I didn't know he was this good.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And so, when people are hard on Scott Laughton, when people were hard on Brendan Carlo for some reason, I thought Carlo was awesome. Yeah, people were weird about some of the pickups last year. Carlo's really good, and if you're listening to somebody who says he's not and didn't add to the team, stop listening to them.
Carlo wasn't good the first couple of weeks he was a Leaf. He struggled to get comfortable with the Leafs, and he didn't have a first, I want to say, like 10 games. And then eventually he settled in.
I think
so there was concern after acquiring him because you paid such a high price and he's not fitting in. But then afterwards, he definitely settled into his role.
the team bears the brunt of the responsibility for how neurotic this fan base is. We would not be this way if they didn't keep losing. But I will say there was a disproportionate amount of Leaf fans who evidently 2025 was their first trade deadline. And it was weird. Why isn't this guy amazing immediately? Because that's rarely how it ever works. Not everyone's Owen Nolan. Stop.
Yeah.
And Owen Nolan was hurt.
Yep.
They acquired a hurt guy. Then he got 2 goals in his first game, and guess what? We're winning the cup. No, you didn't. Give it a sec. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm that's why I'm excited for Lawton. I'm excited for Carlo. I'm excited for what Morgan Rielly can be with Brandon Carlo. Because as we said last year going into the playoffs, it's the best defense partner he's ever had.
Easily.
So.
And, I mean, you could split them up.
No.
If you really need to do it. If you really needed to.
I guess, but let's not do that.
Well, I mean, okay.
Put him back with Myers.
No. Frig no. All I'm saying, sorry, the reason I say that is if Rielly is truly better this season, why not at least grant yourself the ability to revisit him and Tanev if you need to? Now, there's absolutely no need to.
What is the purpose of it? Because the Tanev McCabe line, it's like they're matching that against the best players. Like if you're going up against McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, whatever, you want those guys out there as much as possible. What is the Rielly Carlo thing? What is that? So when you know, and I'm asking you both this question. When Berube puts them out there, what is his desire from those two?
The best D partner Rielly has had in terms of results, I would say, was Luke Schenn.
Yeah.
And he just needs a stay-at-home guy, right? So not every pair is necessarily this is the shutdown pair, this is the offense pair or whatever. Like a part of, I mean, Cale Makar is Cale Makar, but it helps that he has Devon Toews back there. You know what I mean? It's not quite like Carlson and Mathot, but it's. I think people forget how gifted of an offensive player Morgan Rielly is. Like when we have the conversation about who needs to replace Mitch Marner's offense, honestly, I think a lot of it falls on Rielly. And for him to have, I think it was 40-plus points last year, and we're all pretty unanimous, and it was his worst year of his career. I mean, that shows you what he's capable of, right? So Carlo needs to be a rock back there, but Rielly also can't just be running around. It's got to be smart passes up the ice.
As of 17-18, his points are as follows: 52, 72, 27, because he played a short amount of games, in 27 and 47 games, 35 and 55, 68 and 82, 41, 58 and 41.
That's a really good career.
Yeah.
So there's the give and take of Toronto is like, okay, he hasn't accomplished anything, right? Hasn't been to a conference final even. You know, I don't know where he's ever finished in Norris voting. For a defenseman, that's a crazy career
and
so
puts
far.
up good points in the playoffs too.
Yes. He's had a very, very good career for a defenseman so far. But you got to do other things to get better results.
Jesse, are you seeing are you like, here's my question with them. Their deployment, are they going to be with the first line, or is that a Tanev McCabe thing and you have Morgan Rielly feeding to a William Nylander?
The Rielly Carlo pairing,
yeah,
will go with the second line.
Yeah, where do you think they? Because I like with defense pairing, we know the top four, but they have different roles. So like defense 1, defense 2, I'm not like really worried about like where they rank.
Yeah.
But where do you see him on a 5-on-5? Obviously in the power play, he's going to be running it.
Totally. Like I don't know if Berube's too particular with which defense pairing is playing with which forward group. Like I assume the McCabe Tanev pairing is going to start. the games. Like, actually, probably for the first one, you'll probably have Rielly out there just for the first game, with the A on his chest. You probably want him, that pair out there with the first line with Matthews and all that, just for the thematics of it all. But Berube kind of asked the same thing out of all of his players on the ice, from the forward group to the defense, and just play within your structure, stick to the system, play low event hockey, and then capitalize on the mistakes. And Rielly, I think, did a poor job at capitalizing on the mistakes and knowing when he had to play offensively. So if this year they're all going out there, all three pairs, and they're just staying within their system, playing their structure, like, I think you'll be happy deploying whichever pair against whichever line combination.
To go with what I was saying about Rielly's career, 9 defensemen, have 500 or more points since Morgan Rielly entered the NHL, and he's one of them. He's 8th. The group is Erik Karlsson and Victor Hedman, Roman Josi, Brent Burns, John Carlson, Chris Letang, Alex Pietrangelo, Morgan Rielly, Drew Doughty.
It's a pretty good group.
It's a pretty good group. Anyone want to take a stab at who is 10th, landed at 495 points, just retired?
Just retired.
Just retired. There's your clue. You actually already mentioned him on the show.
Oh, I have no idea.
Tyson Barrie.
Oh, okay. All right. No, good for him. Okay.
So there's more to it than just points,
Yeah, 100%.
but that's a lot.
Just a quick updates on some of these guys, some of the bigger names that are negotiating contract extensions or potentially could be UFAs next year. Adrian Kempe has been one to watch in Los Angeles because it's come out that it's like, well, he's going to get double digits in the millions. And people were like, Adrian Kempe? And then you look at his stat line and you're like, oh, yeah, for sure, man. And
you know how
I'm not surprised by it, but I think the number did surprise a lot of people because he's very quietly amazing.
Well, you know how someone they'll be like, oh, this guy's underrated, but they'll say it for like 5 years, which means no, they're not, on account of you've been calling.
You
them
say that every
underrated.
time. I know.
Yeah,
You can't. Yeah.
yeah, but
You can be underrated.
this might be
for 5
someone's first show. I don't know.
I disagree with you on that. You can be underrated for 5 years.
Well, I think Kempe actually has been.
Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about LA, you talk about, Kopitar and Doughty first, or you did for the last decade.
Yeah. The first guy with this was Louis Eriksson. Like, it was like 3 or 4 straight years. He's the most underrated player in the league. I'm like, can you stop? No, he isn't.
And then Barkov.
And then, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's another reason I like Rielly. I asked him who's the most underrated player in the league. And he just goes, well, I assume everyone so far has said Barkov. And I was just like, thank you. Yes. So who is it actually? And he went, Zach Hyman.
I love that.
And then Hyman went off.
They're saying that Adrian Kempe could be in line for a William Nylander $11.5 million deal.
Wow.
That is a huge number. But you look at his numbers, guy's got, he had 73 points in 81 games last year, 35, 38 goals and assists. Those are in line with his career numbers. He's 2 years removed from a 41-goal year. It's hard to deny. And the thing is with Kempe is that he played 5 or 6 years in LA, only getting 14 or 15 goals a year, and then all of a sudden, bang, here's 35, 41, 28, 35.
Nylander signed his deal. Was that not... I think it was January 2024?
I don't remember.
He signed it a couple seasons ago because it was a little after the Sweden
After the
trip.
Sweden thing, yeah. Yep.
So 11 and a half, adjust for inflation. Wow. That's, man. If you have guys under team control right now, your team has such a preposterous advantage because everyone who needs a new deal is getting friggin' ridiculous money.
Yep.
2 years ago, 11 and a half for Kempe was unimaginable. And now it might just be downright reasonable.
Alex Tuch. This one stuck out to me. So I started with Kempe, guys, because what do you think Alex Tuch's worth?
What do you have last season? I know it wasn't. It was a bit of a struggle at times.
He had 67 points in 82 games, 36 goals. 36 goals 2 years
He
ago.
had 36 goals.
Yeah, he did.
All right. So he got there.
He had
Buffalo
79.
did score.
He had 79 points 2 years ago. 59.
That's the standard I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, but he's a 60, 70 point guy.
I think guys like that these days are probably getting. But he's kind of older too.
Alex Tuch is
I'd say
29.
7 or 8 mil.
Jesse, any thoughts?
Yeah, in and around that number. He's the same age as Kempe.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
He's not
Okay.
older.
I thought he was.
No, so I think like I'd be happy with an $8 million contract.
I think the Sabres would too, because what Pierre LeBrun says, I would imagine Tuch's camp sees a double-digit
Holy
AAV
shit!
as realistic in this world, and there's probably not a lot of motivation to be the first of these pending UFAs to sign.
Alex Tuch.
No, that's too much money.
But
Damn.
is it Buffalo too much money?
Yes.
He's from Buffalo, wants to stay there. Oh, he's from Syracuse.
Okay, so give me a discount.
So
Don't make me pay that $10 million.
You know the conversation that's been had about Kaprizov, and he's more important to the Wild than he would be to any other team. Mm-hmm. Could you make a similar argument about Tuch? Obviously, he's not Kaprizov. I know that, but could you make that argument?
I think you can make that argument.
I don't think you should be paying a guy above his value that much.
No. Does Buffalo have to pay a premium no matter what, and that's just a reality of running the Buffalo Sabres right now?
Well, they have like Buffalo has so many issues beyond like keeping the guys. Like I think from an organizational standpoint, from Kevin Adams, well, from the ownership down, like the way they're running things isn't gonna produce success. Like I'm more concerned about just, hey, what if you sign Alex Tuch, what does the rest of the roster look like? Will this ever be a winning team? Because right now having him and everything around it isn't producing success. So I don't care that you want to keep him at $10 million because I don't trust the rest of the roster and this team to ever win any games the way it's currently constructed.
Yeah, well, you know what it does sort of create, too? If you do sign him to money like that. By the way, Tage Thompson's got to be kicking himself for signing that contract. 7.142.
How are you robbing Tage Thompson every day he lives and breathes, and you're still this bad?
It sets up a core 4, core 5 situation for Buffalo. Because I know that the cap is going up. Dahlin's at 11. Owen Power is already at 8.3. Then you'd have Tuch potentially at 9.5, 10. Josh Norris at almost 8 million. Tage Thompson at 7.1. So it's not a core 4, it's core 5.
Right.
And it would be an expensive one. And let's not forget that they are paying UPL a pretty good number, actually, 4.75. But you create it. It's like, oh, actually, the cap actually disappears pretty quickly when you have that.
Well, and all of these kids, like Jack Quinn and Devin Levi and
Well, Devin Levi's got to prove it.
no, I know, but like at some point he's gonna, or you're screwed again.
Yeah.
And all these kids are gonna get paid, and you turn the screws to Paterka.
Yeah.
Hey, that trade better work.
That's an expensive team.
Is Tuch a UFA at the end of this?
Yes, he is. And give Buffalo credit. They've been good at locking up the guys that are there.
They really should keep that player.
Yep.
I know you could get a ransom for him. He belongs in Buffalo. You should be able to keep that player. And if you can't, I think you really need to reconsider if your ownership group should be in the hockey business.
Something to keep in mind too with Buffalo is the big get in the Paterka trade was Michael Kesselring.
Uh-huh.
He makes 1.4. Great. Right shot defense, 25, tough guy.
Big guy.
That cap's going up, and he is an RFA next year. So he's a right shot 25-year-old
At least he's an RFA.
for a year,
Yeah.
and then he's going to be a UFA the following. So you're trying to buy UFA years, that's going to get expensive.
Yeah, but what is the motivation to keep the team together? Like you're saying they're good at locking up their young talent, but none of it's been successful.
I know.
So,
you're right,
like,
Jess.
we need Tuch back for what? To lose again?
Well, I mean, for God's sakes, you got to be relevant. Like the idea.
But that's what Jesse's saying is
the
that they're
team that
locking up
has
an irrelevant
them
team.
is irrelevant.
Here's how I think they're looking at the team. Who are our good players? Who are our players who we know are good? They're not good Sabres. They're just good no matter what team you put them on. Tage Thompson, he's a great player. All right, we want to keep him. Alex Tuch, he's a great player. We want to keep him. Rasmus Dahlin is great. Then there's the guys who are kids, and you build around those vets, and you hope they grow. And maybe the theory is we keep our good vets, The young guys grow into it. Our team improves from within. Maybe we're able to sign a couple guys because we're relevant again. And all of a sudden, we can compete just like everyone else.
You just built the Buffalo Sabres, who are not a good team. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
They have talent.
Here's what
man.
makes
It's
imagination
weird.
so
Where's the
hard.
wins?
I know.
Imagination is so hard.
They have the wrong coach. I'm just going to straight up say it.
They have the wrong everything.
They have the wrong.
That coach is not.
Imagination is hard with the Sabres because with everyone, like whenever we talk about Vegas or whenever we talk about Florida, or it doesn't always have to be a cup contending team. Like the Rangers had a bad year last year, but anytime a free agent's name comes up, we're like, well, they could be in on them. And so maybe it's a city thing, maybe it's a money thing, maybe it's a reputation for the organization thing. Whatever it is, those teams always have a chance to get somebody.
Yep.
And the Sabres, along with a few other teams, they don't have that same chance.
No, they don't. They don't.
They're not getting them.
No.
There's so many. Man, whoever in the Columbus front office keeps leaking that they made a bigger offer to someone should stop. Because it just makes it seem like no one wants to friggin' sign there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoa, we offered this guy 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, and they still said no. You must stink. And they don't. Right? There's a few teams that bear this cross, and Buffalo is chief among them.
Yeah. It's interesting. We haven't done our season preview for them yet, but I'm looking at this roster. I'm going, man, this team should be better. Shouldn't they? Shouldn't they? Oof. Anyway, let's move on to Marty Necas. There have been reports circulating that he has turned down multiple contract extension offers. Pierre LeBrun says, my sense is that they haven't gotten to the nitty-gritty of exchanging offers and counter offers. But there are, and I will say this, there are rumors that Marty Necas does not want to be there.
Alex Tuch for Martin Necas. Here we go. Cook with gas.
Go to another place where Marty Necas doesn't want to stay.
You never know. Maybe he's weird.
Is
He
Marty
gets there.
Necas, I do have to ask the question. If he does not re-sign there, first off, Joe Sakic, you should have just signed Mikko Rantanen. Second, Marty Necas, are you going to be happy anywhere?
I mean, on two very good teams, too.
Yeah.
Like, two different organizations, two different places.
That's assuming that what we're hearing is right, but I've heard enough stink about it to feel like...
Yeah.
Do you want to hear from Marty Necas, who said that he doesn't know where this came from?
Of course he doesn't.
Never asked me about it. I don't really know where is that coming from. I think it's a great place here. Probably one of the best in NHL, to be honest, for living. And I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Shout out DNVR Denver for that audio.
And Rasmus Andersson doesn't only want to be a Golden Knight. Okay.
You don't believe him?
No.
Oh.
He doesn't have to tell us the truth. Why would he tell us the truth on that? Yeah, Marty Necas is doing his damn job there, which is I play for the Avalanche, which means I got to say this place rocks. Mm-hmm. And you know what? He's not wrong. Denver rocks. It's awesome. It's a great place to live. I'm just saying there's enough stink out there about him maybe not wanting to stay there long term.
Well, go to Buffalo. You don't have Nathan McKinnon.
They're not trading him to Buffalo.
Why not?
For Bo Byram again?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't think so. I hope they get something done there because I think the pressure, Marty Necas probably understands the pressure's on Joe Sakic to get this done. You can't do that. Can you?
So all we keep hearing, Florida was able to keep all their guys. Shake your fist at the sky. A few months have passed, and every story we hear with a wide variety of teams is this pending free agent won't sign. This pending RFA, this pending UFA, they're at an impasse. And yes, it's that time of year, but it's a lot noisier than it usually is.
Because of the money.
I mean, why would any of these guys sign?
Especially until Kaprizov and McDavid.
Kaprizov just rejected what was the total number? 132 or 128? Holy shit! And you're Necas. You're going to play on the top power play unit with Makar, McKinnon, I guess, Landeskog, I'm guessing.
But wouldn't he look
Maybe
at that,
Taves?
guys, and tell me if I'm wrong, Jesse and Steve, wouldn't he look at that and go, he might not be Mikko Rantanen, but he might be $10 million?
No, I would look at that like I'm about to put up 40 billion points this year.
Yeah. And so Joe Sakic's in a position where we didn't want to sign Rantanen to that money, but we might have to sign Necas to that money or close to it.
Yeah, I think just because he doesn't want to sign now doesn't mean he doesn't want to be in Colorado. I think Colorado, if he has an amazing season, will want to give him that money because he seems like a great young player that can fit really nicely with McKinnon long term. It's just he's going to wait and see how his season goes before signing that deal.
It takes two, right? Like
Exactly.
With the Avalanche, there's very obvious incentive to get this done.
Yeah.
With Necas, there isn't.
I think there's like entirely on the Av side, it's we want this done as soon as possible because he's going to explode. And Necas also knows that. So there's no motivation for him to sign.
So, we know they're okay with having a very noisy fall.
Yeah.
They redid their entire goaltending. Listen, you trade him, you keep him, I don't know. But what you can't have happen again is what happened last year, where it's complete chaos at the trade deadline. I think Colorado's got to do their business early and have a friggin' brilliant team. And if you have an opportunity to add at the trade deadline, great. But this flipping Rantanen, that's a franchise altering move, and I don't think that's typically something that gets done in February, March.
No.
That's all I'm
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Necas sticks around in Colorado.
I hope he does.
It's hard to blame him. It's the price for talent in the NHL has skyrocketed, and you're lucky enough to be a really good player who's on an expiring
so
deal.
let me ask you this. Okay, Marty Necas is a really good hockey player.
Great player.
He's not Mikko Rantanen.
Sure.
Fair, right? Because Mikko's
Oh
huge.
my God. Like Necas has never had like a 30-goal season.
Yeah.
Has he actually?
Yeah.
He's a good
career,
playmaker.
career high 28.
Is Marty Necas a $10 million guy?
These conversations are nuts. So the three names that we've talked about just now,
Tuch, Kempe, Necas, all might be $10 million guys.
double-digit
And
players.
if he is, would you rather Rantanen at 12 or 12.5, whichever he wanted to, or Necas at 10? Or 9.5 even? Because I could see 9.5 for Necas at a point a game. Yeah. Absolutely all day. The Colorado Avalanche signed that all day. So if he is pushing for 10 or 10 plus, who do you rather have, Jesse and Steve?
Who? Rantanen or...
Rantanen or Marty Necas plus Jack Drury?
Oh, Jesus. Rantanen every single time. Like, Rantanen was excellence every single year. He's the sure money, which is why he got 12. 12 and a half?
No, he got 12 because it's tax-free.
Okay, whatever. So that's because he's guaranteed money. Necas has had a grand total of one season that was kind of like a Rantanen season, which, as a manager tasked with the budget of this team, I am terrified.
Jesse?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the better player in the hypothetical every time. I think you'd rather have Mikko Rantanen.
I wonder if there's some regret in that.
No,
front
you
office.
can't run a team like that where you sit around and you regret your moves and that sort of thing. You got to move forward.
It's spilt milk.
Yeah.
Like
what are you going to do?
Ask the Stars for him back.
I
real
wish I had
nice.
Rantanen back. We're going to lose every game. Like, no, you move forward. You have Necas now. You try and get this deal done. He's a very good player. You're going to keep him around. I think you give him that deal that's going to make him comfy.
Yeah, every single
He's going to be
time,
a good Avalanche.
Yeah.
Every single time Sakic or McFarland calls
Booger.
Jim Nill is here. Wait. Hello. Hi, Jim. Like, it's like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna get him back? He can't.
Right.
He can't.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's not trying to get him back.
What? Did you forget something? No, I'm just kidding. How you doing?
Do you think he does the same thing to Tulski? You know?
Oh my God.
Man.
Yeah.
No. Logan Stankoven's great. Like that player's crazy. I love Logan Stankoven. Mikko, holy shitting Rantanen, man. That's tough.
Rasmus Andersson could stay is the title of the CJ show. And I mentioned it yesterday, and LeBrun said it again today in his article. I think Andersson might listen on an 8-year extension with a healthy raise if Calgary put that on the table. But for now, the team wants to start the season to see how things play out. Wouldn't it be funny if, After all this shit, he ends up signing and staying in Calgary. And
Yes.
backing up the fact that you're right, Steve, they're the noisiest effing franchise in the world right now.
Well, also, and people seem to forget this, you can just say, never mind.
You can.
It's happened lots of times. Players go, I want to get traded, or we're going to trade you. And then everyone involved gets over themselves and they move on with their lives.
Jake DeBrusk.
Yeah.
In Boston.
Hey, how about, and how did that work out for Jake DeBrusk?
Pretty great.
He did great in Boston and then
Got an incredible contract.
went to UFA, made a bajillion bucks from the Canucks. Ilya Mikheyev wanted to trade from the Leafs. Leafs said no. He had a great season, made a good billion bucks from the Canucks. There is a very clear path forward here.
And it's money from the Canucks.
Just stay in Calgary and then go to Vancouver next year.
Right.
Sign a 1-year deal.
Well, they're going to need a replacement for Quinn Hughes. So
Hey, whoa. Hey, now. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing you said. Vegas can't afford him.
Especially if Petro's back next year.
Here's what would need to happen. Because what does Andersson make? 4.5?
4.5. And he's going to, could he be 10?
Right.
This is the fourth player in a row I'm asking. Could this be a $10 million player?
You could get Andersson this season. So, okay, if
You could get
Calgary
him at 2.25
trades him
this season.
so now it's 2.25. Vegas is deep in those LTIR waters. The numbers that I laid out last show, trying to figure it out, if Pietrangelo goes on LTIR, you take Akira Schmid off the roster and add a goalie, which is, it sounds like it's going to be Carter Hart. They have a hair over $2 million to do that. So you're at, I think it's $2,034,000 something or other. So if you were to get Andersson, you would have to get rid of, I think it's okay, sorry. Let's go back. If you want to get Rasmus Andersson and you've signed Carter Hart, and let's say it's for a flat $2 million, you would have to get Calgary. You'd have to pay the assets to get Calgary to retain half of Andersson's deal, and you would have to get rid of an additional 2.25 less 34 grand. They could do it. It's going to be hard, though. I don't know who you get rid of.
And then signing him to an extension is the issue. Jess, would you pay over $10 million for Rasmus Andersson?
I think Calgary signs Andersson and he sticks around and he's $10 million.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be $10 million over 8 years or whatever it is. It's going to be double digits. He's a good right-handed defenseman. Even if like all the rumors have lasted for a year or whatever, he's not going to be a Vegas Golden Knight. I don't think it's worth the time to figure it out that he's going to be there. I don't think he's going there. I think he's going to be a Calgary Flame at the end of the day.
I think they're trying to figure it out.
You know, and everybody's
know.
excited for Zane Breck, and you should be, but like he's not Rasmus Andersson yet. And there's no guarantee that he will be. It's this thing with prospects, right? It's like, oh man, I'm so excited about the next guy. Yeah, but you have a guy who's good now.
He looks preposterous, though.
He does.
He looks
great.
really,
What if you had
really
two
good.
of them on the same team? It's insane.
Hey. Fun.
Very quickly, Jess, let's talk about the Minnesota Wild jerseys.
Yes.
I'm just going to
Bring
those
those
them in the.
Did these come
That's
out
okay.
during
I'll
the
bring
show?
it up.
They did come out during the show, and it's to celebrate their 25th anniversary. Can you believe that the Minnesota Wild are going to be 25?
No.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I know. Quarter century club already.
For how many of those years was Cliff Fletcher their very mediocre GM?
Chuck.
Oh, damn it. No, Cliff's great.
Yeah. I remember reading a story in a newspaper that Steve Yzerman was really, really mad at Detroit management for not protecting Stacey Roost in the expansion draft, and the Minnesota Wild got him, and Yzerman thought he was the next big thing. It didn't work out quite that way, but
I've never heard of that human being.
you never heard of Stacey Roost? And Andrew Burnett on his tour of every expansion team ever, I believe, was on the Minnesota Wild for a while too. I think he played with
He was a thrasher, I want to say.
He was everywhere. Andrew Burnett was like and he was a good player.
He's a great player.
And yet every time, who did he play for? It was Nashville, Atlanta, Minnesota. That's the three
Didn't
teams.
he end Patrick Waugh's career?
I don't know.
That was the final game Waugh ever played. Burnett scored the OT winner in the playoffs.
733 points in 1,110 games.
That's a great player, man.
Jesse?
These Wild jerseys, I really like them.
I love it.
I'm disappointed that they're only going to wear them 4 times this season because they're very pretty jerseys.
It's a throwback to what they started as, and these jerseys are beautiful. Only 4 times?
For anybody listening, I'll read what the Wild wrote here. Paying homage to the team's inaugural season, the special 25th anniversary jersey features the iconic Wild logo, original Wild script and font, and gold accents on the white sweater. It's very nice.
We do have some insider stuff here from producer Hayden.
What do you say?
Our resident Minnesota Wild fan. On a train from Lisbon to Porto, flex, and just had to send a note as the resident Wild fan. Those Wild 25th anniversary jerseys are fucking flaming hot fire.
Yeah.
Followed by 12 heart eye emojis. Huge fan. I mean, that's who you got to please right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
cares
if
what we-
anybody would look at these jerseys and be upset.
I love these.
They're great.
Only 4 times kind of sucks. We
Yeah,
need to
they're
put it
wearing them on Marian Gaborik bobblehead night.
I was about to say,
Nico-
if Marian Gaborik doesn't come out wearing one of these, I don't want it.
Mikko Koivu bobblehead night, Jared Spurgeon bobblehead night, and Kirill Kaprizov bobblehead night. It's only 4 times this season.
Will Kirill have signed by that January 24th date?
Or
Or is that
does he get traded on January 23rd? And is some warehouse going to have
A whole bunch.
15,000 Kirill Kaprizov bobble?
I think you still give them away.
Yeah.
You spent all the money. Give them away.
You give them away, you lose 6-0. They get thrown onto the ice. You clean it up.
These are gorgeous. Jesse,
this is really nice.
I also sent you another picture of the Carolina Hurricanes jersey because I want to bookend the show with another picture of Nick Ehlers in this new Carolina jersey. See if this changes your opinion at all. It does not change mine. I'll come out and say it, but it's a more fulsome view of the jersey in warm-up. Steve, don't look at it.
Oh.
Wait till it's up on the screen.
Sorry.
Wait till it's up on the screen so the audience can react with you. Can't be looking over Jesse's shoulder like that. Come on. What are you, new here?
How's this?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay, you want this one?
Yeah.
I can. Do you want footage of him skating?
Can you?
Of
can-
Seth,
are you-
Seth Jarvis? It's just a social video of him skating.
Oh,
A little
okay,
bit.
sure.
Are the Golden Knights going to kick us out?
You can look.
Are we
you can
allowed?
look.
You can look
You
now.
can look.
You can look
now. You like this? Look at that.
Adam, you're so wrong, dude.
Nah,
Look at that.
Those are nice.
Nah.
There's Seth. There's
wrong.
Jarvie.
I like the Hurricanes jerseys, so I'm very particular about that. I don't want them changing it too much. I think they got a really good jersey.
You're a bum. Those are nice.
Don't get it.
Those are really nice.
What do you mean you don't get it?
Don't get it. Doesn't do it for me.
I like them.
It insists upon itself.
All right.
I think you insist upon being wrong.
Do we want to do a press conference today, or are we wrapping?
We can wrap there.
All right, we'll wrap it there.
Yeah, we got a live show tomorrow.
Woo! Chorus Clubhouse. We'll answer plenty of questions. So we'll see you there. Anything else to add? Nope, gentlemen.
SCP VIP as well. Listen to that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed.
That's right. Anything else? Running out of time.
Horse the club out!
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.